Welcome back to Tabletop Tales. Today, I wanted to tell you about the time that my party absolutely clowned on a beholder. They pretty much turned the thing into their pet, and it was absolutely hilarious. So the party was once again Grimlock Ironblood, Dwarf Fighter Barbarian, Shmi the Gnome Rogue Bard, Twinklet Hits, the Elven Wizard Extraordinaire, and a couple of new characters. At this point, we had swapped over to Pathfinder 1E, and I made a new Dwarven Cleric because nobody wanted to play support still. It's fine, it's fine. I actually really liked my new Cleric, Uther Undersky. He was a tough old dwarf who didn't mess around. A real battle cleric. He had a level in monk and a level in fighter, which made him tough whether he was wearing his armor or nay. Our other new character was an Oread monk, whose name I can't remember. Another person had come and joined our game, so we'll just call him Macho Man, because he was a ridiculously good grappler, and he was huge and super strong. So, the party was delving a dungeon when they came across a cavern full of stalactites and stalagmites, and also a few very lifelike statues. They were a little bit too lifelike. All of the statues had faces that were frozen in horror. And they were equipped as adventurers or had priestly vestments, things like that. It was too much of a coincidence. And the party knew that there had to be a Gorgon or something like that was hanging around and causing this. Maybe some basilisks. We weren't sure. Well, the party wasn't sure. I knew, obviously. But having a DM PC, I tended to try and take a back seat of things and be more of a lore master type character and give information to the party when it was necessary, and of course provide combat support. So the party decided to hang around and see what might come by while laying in wait. And they didn't have to wait too long. About a half an hour passed, and they didn't expect to see what came by. They saw a many-eyed orb floating down from the bloody ceiling. A huge maw full of sharp teeth and nearly a dozen eye stalks sticking up out of it. A huge central eye dominated the creature's spheroid form. It was a beholder. Now, the party knew that a beholder was an incredibly dangerous foe, and they needed to be careful. So they waited, they let it pass, and then they met back up and discussed a plan. They discussed the plan amongst themselves, and then asked me if they thought that it would be possible. And you know what? I thought that it was funny and interesting, and a really creative solution. So I decided to let it go, and you'll find out what the plan is at the end here. I don't want to spoil the surprise, because it was kind of brilliant what they did. I really love to reward creativity and interesting ideas as a DM, so I decided to allow them to try what was a little bit of a crazy plan. So, Uther cast Overland Flight on everyone, and we made sure that the main casters were fully hidden from view, because we knew about the anti-magic cone from the central eye. So they hid behind some stalagmites, and we waited. The party was 10th level at this point, so they had access to some really powerful magic, but it could be easily nullified by the beholder. So they lay in wait, and the beholder eventually came back, going towards its sort of ceiling lair that it had up there. And Macho Man jumped out and grabbed onto the thing. Now, 10th level monks are basically the Hulk. They can jump like ridiculous heights into the air. So Macho Man went and grabbed onto it and was pulling on the eye stalks, trying to point them away and rip them off. And Grimlock and Uther hit it with like ranged attacks and distracted it. We made sure that the central eye was facing away from Shmi and Twink, who were the other group that was on the opposite side of the cavern. So Twink and Shmi floated up behind it very quietly, and they both cast a Bestow Curse spell. And it made a will save against one, but I think it was Twink's that went through. And he said, I curse it so that all of its eyes are permanently sealed shut. It cannot open its eyes anymore. And we all cheered for the plan going off without a hitch. Nobody got hit with like a petrification ray or anything like that, because the party rolled pretty good initiative. And I mean, now the beholder was basically their bitch. There wasn't anything that he could do anymore. All of his eyes were sealed shut. You know, I could have argued that central eye deactivates magic and maybe his central eye can still be open, but even then, he can't use any of his other eyes. So, I mean, he's basically completely inept. So even if he could open his central eye, which I ruled that because it's affecting the creature itself, it just worked, right? This thing is permanently blind. It can't open any of its eyes. It's essentially a floating ball with a big mouth now. So the party, looted its little sort of mini lair, and they used it to gain some information about the dungeon that they were in, which was the sanctum of an ancient lich. If you want to hear about the story of how they faced the lich, well, you'll just have to subscribe, because that is a tale for another time, friends. Do you have any epic tales about your party facing beholders? Or any other strange D&D creatures? I'd love to hear them. Leave a comment down below. I have plenty more D&D tales coming, as well as other gaming content, so please subscribe and check out my channel for more. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. All interaction really helps with the algorithm. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.